Hi guys! So today I'm wanting to talk about what I'm calling my second awakening. Second awakening. I'm calling it this because I don't know what else to call it, and it definitely feels like a level up. Anyway, I want to talk about the negative side effects, if I can call it that, or the things that are not so wonderful. Dun dun dun. The first one being my senses. They seem to have changed a little. Some in a good way, some in a not so clear kind of way. Like my hearing definitely got sharper. Maybe I really started noticing it about a month ago, maybe. Yeah, about a month ago, I guess. Maybe more. A month to 2 months ago. And I sometimes even walk around with earphones in my ears just to kind of block sound because it can be a little bit overpowering these days. And the main thing that I noticed right at the beginning was that I could feel those sound waves, if that's what's happening. I don't know. Anyway, I could feel the sound, and it got to be quite a little bit uncomfortable, but mostly just it's something new. Your body's adjusting to whatever it is. Maybe a higher frequency, you're able to kind of channel into more of what's around you, and so you can experience stuff that maybe you didn't experience or feel or sense before. That's what's happening with me. I can feel sound. The other one with regard to my senses is my sight. I don't know if this is good or bad yet, because it doesn't happen all the time, maybe 3 or 4 times in the day, but I noticed that my sight gets blurry, and then I'm like tempted to take my glasses off. Tried this once, and it helped the one time. I haven't done enough experimenting with it to actually notice if my eyes are getting sharper. I had a moment a couple months ago where I tried to expand my consciousness outside of my body, and when I did that, it felt as though it was expanded to a point of about 10 meters around me, forward, back, all the way around me, and my sight definitely changed in that moment. Everything got sharper, the colors got sharper, everything was brighter and just clearer. So I'm not sure what's happening now. It doesn't always feel the same as that. It feels more blurry. So I'm trying to see or read something on my computer screen, and I can't really focus on it because my eyes are just not comfortable. Something's changing with them, but I don't really know what it is that's changing. Anyway, I guess with some time I'll eventually figure that out. So positive and negative, I guess. The next one is your life will change. In fact, I'm going to come back there. The next one is your relationships will change. I've been really blessed to have lots of people in my life that are pretty open to this journey that I'm on. I mean, sometimes I do kind of get the occasional like, what are you talking about, Simone? And then I'm like, maybe we should talk about something else, Dan. But I'm completely okay with the non-understanding, and the judgment comes from a place of not understanding and comes from a place of discomfort with yourself. This is something that I'm realizing with myself, so it's kind of easy to notice it in other people, and it's not a judgment on my part, it's an observation. The difference of the two I'll come to in another video. anyway, so your relationships will change. You'll also not really want to spend time with the same group that you used to spend time with, or rather not want to do the same things that you wanted to do in the past. I have no desire to do the things I was doing 8 months, 10 months ago. None desire. So I'm just kind of riding the current wave. I'm interested in finding out more about myself and my reality and the nature of it, and less in more superficial kind of engagements. Okay, the next one being frustration in communication. This one, yeah, I recognize and fully understand that not everybody and nobody really that's in my life currently will understand what is happening with me. And I can explain it to my heart's content. Until you experience it, you're not really going to know what the heck the person is talking about. And even if you have some kind of inkling into what it might be, you won't really get it until you experience it for yourself. And again, no judgment on this, but it can sometimes get frustrating when maybe I'm experiencing something that's a little bit overwhelming and I need to talk to somebody about it, and I talk to somebody close to me, and there's that gap in understanding, which you can't be angry about or mad about because they haven't experienced what you're experiencing. So there's no way to really bridge that gap until that experience happens, if it ever does. And but it's just the gap of trying to get the person in your life to understand your discomfort. But no matter which way you kind of explain it or how you approach it, there's just going to be that lack of connection when it comes to communication. And that's okay. We love everybody, right? Okay. This one, the next one, the fourth one, is one that's really kind of impacted me recently because I'm studying at the same time. I started studying my master's at the same time that I started a new job, at the same time that this journey started. Everything started at the same time. And so it's been quite challenging to balance them. But mostly after my second awakening, which was about I'm calling it my second awakening, whatever it was, which was about 3 weeks ago. I had 2 assignments due, and every time I sat down for like the past month to try and read my work, I just couldn't focus. It didn't matter whether I was having a good day, a bad day, a busy day, a quiet day, whatever was going on, I just couldn't focus on anything else. I mean, going to work was fine because there wasn't a whole lot of mental power needed to do the thing that I've become so comfortable doing. It's kind of become like second nature almost. So I'm able to do that okay without too much discomfort. But with my studying, because it's this new information and scaffolding old information with new information is taking a lot of mental power, and I find that I sit down, I start reading, and I'm like, at the end of it, I mean, I went through this week where I got so much done. I was like, ba 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 ba, all this work kind of like, just, what word am I looking for? All this work just like done. Anyway, that I realized after the week was done that I learned nothing. I knew nothing. I couldn't even tell you what the topic was that I studied. And a friend asked me, so what was it that you were learning about this past week? You were so busy. And I was like, something about education? I don't know. So that has become a real struggle for me, that I'm trying to kind of balance my study life with my spiritual awakening journey. And every day I do this chakra meditation on the bus, just a quick one, just to rebalance myself in preparation for the day so that I can deal with whatever comes along. But I find that the more I kind of engage with that spiritual side of myself, the less I'm able to engage with my old reality. So my studies and the idea that life should be the way that we grew up thinking it should be, that old construct is completely out of the window. It's completely gone. And now I'm trying to build a new construct that allows me to continue with my studying from a new perspective, not from the old perspective. But that's proving to be quite challenging. So I occasionally try to kind of relate it to this journey, and I'm like, okay, Simone, you're learning about education. There's a lot of psychology and philosophy in here. Try to connect it to the spiritual journey, because at the end of the day, everything is connected if we can find those connections. So that, has been maybe the most difficult thing, is continuing on with your old life, with this journey or this unveiling of in this new reality that the old life doesn't fit into. So I guess I will figure that out in due time. The last one being your life will change. So this is leading from the previous point about you. So this one is leading from the previous point about focus. Point number 5, your life will change. Don't seek a spiritual awakening if it's what you're seeking, if you're not ready to completely throw everything you thought you knew about life out the window. Don't do it. It's uncomfortable. For me, I was in a really deep, dark depression. So anything that came out of that was just better than wanting to die. So coming out of my depression and meeting this new reality was like, I wasn't looking for it. It happened. Here it is revealing itself. And it's 10 times, not only 10 times, it's infinitely bigger and better than wanting to die. So for me, I didn't experience the discomfort immediately because there was nothing worse than what I was going through at that point. And so everything that came after was better. And here I am looking at all the negatives that followed. Anyway, yes, your life will change because your perspective of life changes, because you now view reality from behind, in front of the veil, I should say. Behind the veil? Whatever, you get my point. I'm viewing reality from a more honest perspective. And all the things that I couldn't see before are now revealed to me, which means that everything that I once based my decisions and my life on, I now know to be not truth. And because of that, it just, I know that I can't continue on with the life that I'm currently living, that it has to change because I don't want to go back. Yes, you can decide to have your awakening and know what you know and continue on your path anyway. But for me, I don't see a point. I don't see a point to carrying on with the lie that's the way I see it. It doesn't have to be the way you view it, the way you view your life, or before or after an awakening, or whether you have an awakening or whether you never do. That is your reality, and just be comfortable with it, be satisfied with it, be whatever you need to be with it. Don't feel the need to change anything because somebody else's perspective of it is different than your own. But the way that I feel right now is that the life that I've been living for the past 30 years has been this big fat lie. And that is the reason that there's so much discomfort. And now I know a truth, and I've been so much happier, at peace, more balanced with this truth. But the ultimate thing now is to try and balance my old life with my new life, or completely let go of my old life. I really want to finish this master's, probably for ego reasons. However, we must understand that part of the human experience is embracing all sides of ourselves. And I think that once you understand that you are not your ego, and once you understand that there's this clear separation between the reality that you perceived as opposed to the actual reality, or the new reality, I don't know, however you want to view it, because my views will probably change again. So once you have that clear detachment from the way you've been living and the things that you do, the decisions you make, the things you have, the relationships you have, then you can start to kind of experience it from a conscious perspective. Now it becomes a decision, something that you want to experience, not something that you feel you have to do because of all the layers of culture, society, experience, hurt, pain, protecting yourself, whatever it is you feel you need to do in order to have a full, satisfied life. Now you get to just experience those things because it's something you feel like doing. So, those are the 5 things that have made life after my awakening a little challenging. However, not as challenging as before my awakening, so I embrace the change wholeheartedly, and I wish you all the best of luck on your journey, and see you on the next one. Not quite done yet. A bonus challenge. As if you need any more challenges. I forgot about this one actually. But this one has had quite an inconvenient impact on my any socializing that I've done with anybody who is struggling with something, and they can know about it or they cannot know about it, but it is there and I can feel it, boy. So I've always been a pretty empathetic person, and you know, that comes with its you know, pros and cons. Anybody who's empathetic will know the discomforts. But since my awakening, that is just on steroids. My gosh. I was with a friend not long ago who was really struggling with something, and this was when I really realized that I was not going crazy, because I thought, man, I am, you know, whenever I spend time with certain people who are struggling with themselves, I leave feeling so awful, and I'm just like, no man, I can't blame this other person on my crappy feelings. So I just never gave it any consideration. I just thought, you know, it's me, I have my issues, and which I did, and that's all it is. until I was in a really, really wonderful space. I was so at peace with myself and with life and with everything. And I was joyful and blissful, and I was just, for like 3 weeks straight, uninterrupted. It was a wonderful, wonderful period. And then I spent an afternoon with a friend who was struggling and came home feeling like depression was dumped on my head. I was so not okay. And I was just like, why is this happening? And then it dawned on me, Simone, these are not your feelings. These are not your emotions to carry. This is what you felt from somebody else's struggles. And it just became clearer when I would spend time with anybody who was struggling. Christmas dinner, it was the first time I'd spent an extended period with a group of people. For the past 8 or 9 months, I've been mostly kind of socializing one-on-one with friends, or maximum 2 people, and not really doing anything group orientated. And this Christmas I spent with a wonderful group of people. It had been a long time since I'd done so. And I mean, we had a wonderful dinner. We went to a Sky bar afterwards and continued on with our socializing for a little while longer. And then it set in. And I could feel this heaviness starting to come over me. And I was like, I knew immediately that it wasn't mine, because of previous experiences that kind of led to me realizing that I was feeling other people's emotions. But now even more so. So I sat there looking at everybody. I know my facial expression changed. I tried to kind of mask it as much as I could, but I mean, it was difficult. I was sitting there feeling everybody's pain that they probably weren't even aware of. And it was, that was challenging. It took me up until Saturday to actually kind of let that go. It helped to know that it wasn't mine to carry. And up until Saturday, I knew that it was affecting my days. I tried to kind of meditate it away. I even lit an incense stick and tried to kind of clear that energy. It's just whatever I could do to try and clear that, knowing it wasn't mine, I tried to do, but it didn't help as much as I would have hoped it would. However, I guess with more practice and with the awareness that, of what's mine and what's not mine, that will definitely make the experience a little easier. So that is bonus number 6, challenge of awakening. And I hope that this little skit put some ideas forward for you as you go through your shift, about what to expect. Not everything will be the same, but as things do happen, at least you will have a frame of reference of what to expect and how to deal with it. Maybe that'll be the next video. How to deal with the challenges that come along with awakening. Have a wonderful afternoon, and see you on the next one. For real this time. For real.